All right, we are live at unBoxed with Meredith Goldman from Amazon, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the DSP. Meredith, do you want to introduce yourself and your role at Amazon?
Yes, thanks, Jeff, for having me. I'm Meredith Goldman, Director of Media Enablement at Amazon Ads. So I work with our product team in Amazon DSP.
Awesome. Amazon made a lot of announcements today and super exciting. I think I lost count of how many announcements there were.
We did our job well.
You did. And there were applause for some of the announcements, which was great to see. I love the energy in the room. Focusing specifically on the DSP, there were some great announcements about the new campaign manager and the DSP. What does this mean for advertisers?
Yeah, it was exciting to be in the crowd when Kelly announced that because I did hear a lot of, sighs of relief and excitement. And so I do think it's really serving the needs and solving for our customers by really providing a single front door for all of our customers and advertisers who both want to access sponsored ads and run their campaigns to deliver performance, as well as use Amazon DSP to run their entire marketing budgets across both Amazon and the open internet. So it was definitely a fun excitement to release that.
And I think the term I heard was converging, right? There was a lot of converging of upper funnel and lower funnel. How does Campaign Manager make that a reality?
Yeah, it really takes together all the capabilities that have been historically within both tech stacks, within sponsored ads and ads console, as well as Amazon DSP, and provides a central command center, if you will, to run your advertising budgets. And with that becomes the capability to find audiences that historically you may have been siloed off from. And so really being able to run a holistic campaign and holistic measurement, planning, activation in one central command center, as I said, a tool really does fulfill that ability to deliver the results across both brand and performance.
Yeah, and that's really, I think, exciting for the heavy users of the DSP, and maybe also those who haven't been using the DSP that now have maybe access to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what we're trying to do is help customers who historically have been maybe siloed in one area. Let's say, for example, a brand that's launching using sponsored ads and is running their campaigns with sponsored brand or sponsored products. Being able to extend now into the open internet and be able to use the capabilities that Amazon DSP provides, and just being able to kind of more holistically speak to their audiences.
Yeah, I think I don't want to put words in Kelly's mouth, but she said the DSP has been open to hundreds or thousands of new advertisers over the last couple of years. And if you look at the announcements last year and you look at the announcements this year, I mean, the big term I used in my recap was democratization, right? There's a big democratization that's occurring across the DSP, making more inventory available, making it easier to use. If I'm a DSP operator and I'm looking forward to this new central command center, how should I be preparing for this as it starts to get released into the open?
I would say definitely lean into the capabilities, especially the AI-enabled features such as Ads Agent and Creative Agent. Just to kind of go back to what you're saying is, how it solves for democratizing for a lot of our businesses and customers. We've spent a lot of time this year in building bridges that was spoken about and really developing partnerships across a larger swath of streaming TV providers like Disney and Roku and Netflix, as well as audio partners such as Spotify, iHeart, et cetera, SiriusXM, and really being able to provide, the amount of reach customers are looking for to find their audiences, and then really being able to double down on that and providing precise addressability. And that really is what is going to be the most performant area of our product. And then being able to use these Ads Agent and Creative Agent to lower the entrance barrier for some businesses who historically have been walled off or unable to really run in this arena.
Yeah, I think Paul Kotis shared that the addressable market is now 90% of streaming television, which I think is super exciting.
Right.
And obviously you guys have been doing a lot of work since Cannes. And if you haven't been following, it's almost been an announcement every 2 weeks of more publishers who have been added to that. I think that's exciting.
Keeping everyone on their toes.
That's right. I think one of the big buzzwords of 2026 for sure, and leading into the future is AI.
Right.
So there was a lot of talk about AI and the DSP. Can you talk a little bit about how a user should be thinking about interacting with the AI, what the experience might be, or what they can expect from it?
Kind of back to the democratizing, how do we build products that are AI enabled and being able to provide efficiencies that large language models offer, but while keeping everyone, being able to provide a trustworthy experience is critical. And so when we do build these capabilities and products, it's really with the lens of how do we make it a glass box? How do you, as a customer or a user of the DSP, use Ads Agent to say, please find me all of my, I do want to say please. I hope everyone is very
you
full of manners.
You
on
have
there.
to have there's been studies that show you have to be polite to AI.
That's right. Please show me all my campaigns that are, delivering at 75%. And then being able to see those campaigns, reviewing what are the next steps, the recommendations that the ads agent provides, and getting to have full control of accepting or not, or even, toggling between AI and using more of the adaptive manual mode and overriding and being able to apply your own optimizations. And so it really is about providing that level of transparency so customers understand how it's being enabled and what are the results, and then, giving them the efficiencies that AI promises.
Yeah, and I think that, what I've been sharing with audiences for the last year is you have to be experimenting with AI, because it's here, it's not going away. It's
right.
It's a genie you can't put back into the bottle. And that's why I like to recommend people just play with it in their own lives, right? The things and the tasks that they're doing, and then start to test it against the tasks that you need to do for work until you become more and more comfortable with the recommendations that they make. And I think it's okay to be skeptical of the recommendations that AI makes. And your job as a practitioner is to put your human touch in the loop of the AI strategies and to be thinking about them, make sure they apply to your customer, make sure they apply to your brand, and then choose the ones that best apply to you. And I think that's an important lesson that we have to all remember that, and I love that Amazon's leading with transparency as they're really thinking about the future in AI and the direction and recommendations that it's making.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about a lot when we're building products is really about how do you make sure you're riding the wave with the customer. You don't want to be ahead of them. You don't want to be behind them, pushing them along. You really want to kind of go through that experience together. And so when we develop these capabilities, it's really with how do we provide a level of proficiency while, earning their trust.
Yeah. So speaking of riding the wave, I think that's a great transition. If you've been a historian in this space for a number of years,
you're going to ask me about surfing, and I was going to be like, I don't surf.
If you're a historian in this space for the last few years, Amazon DSP was traditionally used by brands in more of a retargeting, remarketing type of functionality. Over the last number of years, it's grown to have, I think today they said there were trillions of signals that we're inputting into the decisions that are being made, the ability to tag audiences, both inside Amazon or bring in first party. There's been a pretty massive growth of the Amazon DSP over the last several years that is creating really great benefits for brands. For brands that are thinking of this and maybe trying to evolve their thinking, how should they be thinking about the evolution of DSP and how to integrate that into their ad strategy?
Right. I think there's two things. One, there are customers who've historically grown up with Amazon and have really used our ads capabilities to grow their brands.
Yep.
Then there are other customers who have come to the Amazon DSP really to focus on being able to address our Amazon audiences. The past couple of years has been a pretty transformative evolution of the capabilities. And as I said, before, is really about building these bridges with other partners and media providers to bring in a holistic solution. And so that means you have to have the reach for our customers and being able to provide them anywhere to, all the places that their customers are at and their audiences, and really being able to further leverage not only all the trillions of shopping, browsing, streaming signals that Amazon offers, but working with third-party vendors who also provide that level of granularity so that a customer can really apply their holistic marketing solutions in this campaign manager.
Yeah, I think that's what's super, there's a lot about this that's really exciting for brands. whether it's the access to more inventory, whether it's the access into more Amazon owned and operated inventory, the ability to bring in your first party data to enrich the way you're building upon audiences. And I think like if I was to kind of encapsulate everything around the DSP, I would say that if your brand hasn't taken like a DSP reset, this is a great time to maybe think about a DSP reset, look at the strategy. And within that, I think one of the big transformations that brands are seeing is like how the budgets are being shared across their house, right? How their brand budget is impacting performance, and how maybe if your teams aren't working together, you need to look at ways to work together. And I love that you kind of talked about the digitally native brands that have grown up through Amazon, and they've been the ones who have always been on the forefront of this type of technology. And now we're seeing the non-endemic brands, right? You guys had the example of H&R Block today,
right.
who was able to, massively grow their audience during tax season using the same reach and frequency and technology that the traditional brands of Amazon have done. So that's where I kind of encapsulate it down to this idea of like, it's a DSP reset. It's an opportunity to think about how your strategy is being managed internally through your agency, how you're measuring. Those are all important things to do when you're thinking about how to drive forward with your business.
Yeah, a lot of the work has been focusing on recognizing the opportunity to think bigger for our customers. And then as you spoke to the endemic customers, those who grew up on Amazon and really leveraged sponsored ads, what are we not solving for them? And then looking at the marketplace and understanding all the agencies and the challenges that they face in serving the needs of large advertisers, where can we be doing better and building products more holistically? And that's really where this campaign manager came together.
Yeah.
And, it really has been an awesome evolution, and we keep on learning from our customers, and we want to encourage everyone to give us more feedback of what else do we need to be focused on to really alleviate the pain points and make it easier for customers to reach their audiences.
So we're looking forward to the next 12 to 18 months as we're thinking about where DSP is and where DSP is heading. How should a brand be thinking about this evolution for both them and their business?
I would definitely encourage brands to lean into the AI capabilities, get a seat with Campaign Manager, test out the ads agent and creative agent to really understand how this can solve your business needs and be more effective. And so I would definitely encourage anyone to really try it out and test. I think another important thing I would encourage all of our customers to really engage on is your audience is better than anyone. And so while Amazon has trillions of signals for the Amazon audiences, it's really the power of using your first party signals, using the privacy safe clean room, using AMC to really be able to be more effective with your message to customers.
Yeah, I think that it's critical that you bring together not just the signals from Amazon, but also the first party signals that you have to get that enriched data and understand not just how your campaigns are performing, but how to run better campaigns.
Right. And I would definitely say that using the campaign manager and all of the tools, it really does democratize, as we talked about before, even the signal density. So how do you understand the different insights or what are the insights you pull from all the different signals that you're able to kind of marry together? It's important to start to get proficient in that as well.
Awesome. And, I'll remind people because of the services and software that Skai has that if this is not something that you want to be doing internally, we work with great agencies that can help you, or, you can leverage the tools within Skai to be able to do that. And I think that's one of the beauties of this is that there are many different ways to get in and to build and grow your brand on Amazon.
Absolutely. Partnering, having our partners help support customers is critical for our business. So we thank you, Skai.
Thank you. So last question that I have for you is one piece of advice, right? I'm only going to let you give one piece of advice to somebody that's out here. What's the piece of advice for getting started?
I would say really embrace the move from a manual optimization to one of strategic guidance. Using AI capabilities isn't to replace human creativity, but really to help scale and offer efficiencies in the process. And so that is important for us to really kind of lean into.
Yeah, I truly believe human in the loop is part of what makes AI so valuable to brands and agencies.
Absolutely. It's not just about, making the decisions for you, but really helping you scale and be able to be more efficient with your time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining
Jeff.
us today. Before we wrap, I like to ask people some rapid fire questions.
Okay, fire
you game
away.
for
I
some
love
rapid
this.
fire questions?
Yes.
All right. I know you're from Chicago because I
right.
used to see you in the office.
Midwest is the best.
So deep dish or New York style?
New York style.
Oh, New York. Okay.
I
Bulls or Bears or Blackhawks?
Oh, you can't add a third. Okay, Blackhawks for sure.
Blackhawks,
We're a
okay.
hockey family.
Gotcha. So you notice I didn't say Cubs because I don't like the Cubs. I grew up in St. Louis, so
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Favorite?
so was better, but it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I would be
Ben McGuire.
I'd be a White Sox fan. Let's see. Favorite Amazon leadership principle?
Invent and simplify.
Gotcha. And I think one of the things that I love sharing now that I shared it actually when I was at Amazon, I love sharing now is really how ingrained the leadership principles are at
Yes.
Amazon. I think they hear people talk about the leadership principles, but they don't really understand like how they really truly come up in like every meeting and every discussion. And it's something that you appreciate. You see when you're there and you appreciate when you're gone because it is really a driving force.
I think it most resonates if you read the principles and then if you watch an interview with Andy Jassy, how much it really is in the spoken language. And it's really how we operate. And so I would encourage anyone who wants to understand that part of the culture, if you read the principles, then watch a Jassy interview, you'll see how it's put into action.
I love that you can't, the principles have tension with each other. Mm-hmm. So it's not like one really
Like dive deep and then bias for action, which
Right.
sometimes can be at odds with each other.
Right. Customer obsession. It doesn't have any tension, but
Right.
the rest do, which is great to see.
Yes.
Let's see. We'll wrap it up with the leadership principle one. Thank you for joining us today. And we look forward for everybody to try the Amazon Campaign Manager and let us know what you think.
Definitely. Thank you, Jeff.